My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever wondered why Allah Almighty chose to mention only one woman by name in the entire Qur'an? Why He honored her story above countless others? Why He dedicated an entire chapter to her life and virtue? It is because her story carries lessons that every single one of us needs, whether you are a man or a woman, young or old, rich or poor, because her journey was filled with trials, with pain, with accusations, with loneliness, yet she rose above it all through her purity, her patience, her faith, and her unwavering trust in Allah. And today her name is remembered with love and respect by billions across the world. So as we begin this reminder, I ask you to open your hearts to listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul, because the story you are about to hear is not only about her, it is about you, it is about me, it is about how we live our lives, how we face our challenges, how we trust in our Creator. And if you stay with me till the end, you will see that within her story lies the key to living a life of honor, of dignity, and of closeness to Allah Almighty. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we talk about Maryam, peace be upon her, we are speaking about a woman who was elevated by Allah Almighty above the women of her time, a woman whose name is mentioned in the Quran more than once, whose story has been preserved forever as a shining example of faith, purity, and strength, a woman so special that an entire surah of the Quran was named after her, and that itself is a sign of her status. She was born into a family of devotion and righteousness. Her mother dedicated her even before she was born to the worship of Allah, and she grew up under the care of Zakaria, peace be upon him, and from a young age she was known for her chastity, her worship, her modesty, her dedication, so much so that whenever Zakaria entered her place of worship, he would find provisions there that no human had brought, and when he asked, she would say, it is from Allah. He provides for whom He wills without measure, and this shows us her closeness to her Creators. And then came the greatest test of her life, when the angel appeared to her and gave her the news of a child, and she, a pure and unmarried woman, was shocked, asking how could she have a child when no man had touched her, and the answer was that it is the decree of Allah. He only says be, and it is, and this was a miracle given to her, but with it came the enormous challenge of facing her people. She carried Asa, peace be upon him, in her womb with patience, and when the time came to give birth, she was alone, crying out that she wished she had died before this moment, and yet Allah provided for her. He caused a stream of water to flow at her feet. He caused dates to fall from the palm tree, showing that even in her darkest hour He was with her. And then when she returned with her baby, her people accused her. They could not understand, they pointed fingers, but she was told not to argue, not to defend herself, only to point to the child. And Isa, a newborn baby, spoke by the will of Allah, declaring himself a servant of Allah and a prophet, clearing his mother of every accusation. What a powerful lesson for us, that sometimes silence, patience, and trust in Allah is the strongest response. Maryam, peace be upon her, is remembered not just for being the mother of Isa, but for her unwavering faith, her modesty, her devotion, and her strength in the face of unimaginable trial. And this is why Allah has made her a role model for all of humanity until the end of time. My beloved brothers and sisters, when Allah Almighty speaks about Maryam, peace be upon her, the most striking quality mentioned is her purity and chastity. And this is something we must pause and reflect upon, because in a world that constantly pushes people towards immorality, towards shamelessness, towards the breaking of boundaries, Allah chose to honor her because she upheld modesty. She safeguarded her dignity. Thus she lived a life of purity in every sense of the word, not just physical purity, but purity of heart, purity of intention, purity of worship. She never compromised her values for the trends of her time. She never allowed society to dictate to her how she should live. Instead, she held firmly to the commands of Allah, and Allah elevated her. And this is why the Quran says she was chosen above the women of her age, because she dedicated her life to Allah alone. She guarded her chastity, she maintained her honor, and even when she was faced with the greatest, when she conceived Isa, peace be upon him, without a father, her purity was questioned. Her people accused her, they pointed fingers, they spoke ill of her, yet she remained steadfast. She did not scream, she did not retaliate, she placed her trust in Allah. and He Himself defended her in the most miraculous way. He allowed a newborn baby to speak in her defense, and that is proof that when you protect your purity for the sake of Allah, He Himself becomes your protector. He Himself raises your rank. He Himself clears your name. He Himself honors you in ways beyond imagination. Today we live in times where modesty is mocked, chastity is belittled, and people are told to abandon these values in the name of freedom. But look at how Allah elevated Maryam because of these very qualities. This teaches us that true empowerment is not in exposing oneself to the world. True empowerment is in safeguarding your relationship with Allah, in maintaining your dignity even when the world pressures you otherwise. Purity and chastity are not chains that hold you down. They are wings that lift you up in the sight of Allah. And Maryam's life is a timeless reminder that if you live with purity, if you guard your honor, if you uphold chastity, Allah will honor you, He will protect you, and He will make you a role model for generations to come. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we reflect on the life of Maryam, peace be upon her, one of the most powerful qualities that stands out is her absolute faith and trust in Allah Almighty. Because imagine for a moment the weight of the trial. She was informed by an angel that she would bear a child without a father, something that defied logic, something that would bring shame and accusations from her community, something that would isolate her completely. And yet, instead of rejecting the decree, instead of questioning the wisdom of Allah, she surrendered her heart to her Creator. She knew that when Allah decides a matter, He only says be, and it is. And this conviction gave her strength to carry on through the most difficult days of her life. Her faith was not just in word, it was lived. It was seen in her patience, in her silence, in her acceptance of hardship, and in her understanding that Allah would never abandon her when she was in pain, alone, under the palm tree at the time of childbirth. She cried out in despair. She had passed away before that moment, but Allah comforted her. He caused water to flow beneath her and provided fresh dates to give her strength, showing that her trust was never misplaced. And when she returned to her people with the child in her arms, facing their scorn, facing their accusations, she did not attempt to defend herself with endless explanations. She relied on Allah completely, and Allah defended her in the most miraculous way by making the infant Asais speak in her defense, declaring his servitude to Allah and his role as a prophet. A lesson this is for all of us, that when you put your faith in Allah, when you let go of fear and hold on to Him, He will open doors you never imagined. He will provide for you in ways you could never plan. He will defend you when no one else believes in. He will honor you when the world tries to shame you. Maryam's trust in Allah is not just a story of the past. It is a reminder for every one of us that no matter how impossible the situation may seem, no matter how heavy the burden feels, if you turn to Allah sincerely, He will never let you down. He will carry you through the storm, and He will replace your pain with honor and your struggle with everlasting reward. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest honors that Allah Almighty bestowed upon Maryam, peace be upon, was choosing her to be the mother of Isa, peace be upon him. And this role was unlike any other because it carried with it not only immense responsibility, but also unimaginable test. She was chosen for a miracle that would remain a sign for all of humanity until the end of time. The miracle of giving birth without a father. And though this elevated her status, it also meant she had to endure accusations, isolation, and the weight of carrying a child who would be both a prophet and a sign of Allah's power. Imagine her fear, her anxiety, her pain. Yet at every step her role as a mother was guided by faith. From the moment she bore Isa in her womb, she relied solely upon Allah, knowing that He would guide her, and protect the child. And when Isa was born and she returned to her people with him in her arms, she remained silent as commanded, allowing her son, as a newborn baby, to declare his prophethood, clearing her of all accusations. What an incredible demonstration of how Allah honored her role as a mother. Her nurturing of Isa was not only physical but spiritual. She raised him with devotion, and through her patience and sacrifice, she became part of a story that continues to inspire billions across the world. Her motherhood teaches us that raising a child is not merely about providing food or shelter. It is about instilling faith. It is about being steadfast in the face of challenge. It is about trusting Allah. When the world doubts you, Maryam's role shows us that a mother's impact goes far beyond her lifetime. It echoes through generations, because Isa grew to become one of the greatest prophets of Allah. and every time his name is mentioned, the honor of his mother is remembered alongside him. Her story teaches us that motherhood is not a weakness, it is one of the most powerful roles given by Allah, and when lived with faith and patience, it becomes a source of immense reward and eternal honor. Maryam, peace be upon her, carried out her role as the mother of Isa with unparalleled strength and reliance upon Allah, and that is why her legacy as a mother remains unmatched in history. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we speak about the legacy of Maryam, peace be upon her, we are not only speaking about a woman who lived centuries ago, but about a legacy that continues to shine as a guiding light for all of humanity until the end of time, because Allah Almighty has honored her in a way that no other woman has been honored and preserved her story in His final revelation. He named an entire chapter after her. He mentioned her by name when so many other righteous women were not mentioned, and He declared her as the one chosen above the women of her time. Her legacy is one of purity, faith, modesty, and unwavering trust in Allah. She showed the world that dignity is not defined by people but by your relationship with your Creator. She proved that true strength is not measured by worldly power but by spiritual resilience. And her story echoes in the hearts of believers across every generation. She is remembered every time her son Isa, peace be upon him, is mentioned. She is remembered every time the Qur'an is recited. She is remembered every time modesty, faith, and chastity are praised. It's not just for women, it is for men as well. It teaches every believer that no matter what trials you face, if you hold firmly to Allah, He will honor you and protect your name for eternity. While people may forget you, Allah will never forget you. While the world may accuse you, Allah will clear you. While society may look down upon you, Allah will raise you. Maryam's legacy is that of a woman who endured loneliness, pain, and accusations, yet remained steadfast, and today her name is spoken with love and respect by billions. Her legacy teaches us that values like purity, modesty, and faith are not outdated. They are timeless treasures that make a person truly powerful in the sight of Allah. She stands as a role model for mothers, for daughters, for men and for women, for anyone who seeks to live a life of devotion and humility. And through her legacy, Allah shows us that honor is not in fame, it is not in wealth, it is not in people's praise, it is in serving Him sincerely. And this is why her story is preserved forever, to remind us that if we live for Allah, our legacy too can outlive us in the most beautiful way. My beloved brothers and sisters, as we conclude this reminder, let us take a moment to truly appreciate the lessons we have learned from the life of Maryam, peace be upon her, because her story is not one to be read and admired from afar, it is one to be lived and internal. She showed us the value of purity when the world tries to lure us into immorality. She showed us the importance of trust in Allah when everything around us seems impossible. She showed us the strength of silence and patience when others speak against us. She showed us how Allah honors those who honor Him. Her legacy is eternal, preserved in the Qur'an as a reminder for us to remain steadfast, to remain humble, to remain devoted, and to realize that true power lies in submission to Allah Almighty. And then I ask you today, as you leave this gathering and return to your lives, do not let these lessons remain as mere words you heard. Let them transform your heart. Let them inspire you to live with dignity, with faith, with modesty, and with trust in the Almighty. May Allah grant us all the ability to take these lessons seriously. May He purify our hearts. May He strengthen our faith. May He protect us from trials, and may He raise us on the day of judgment among the righteous. My brothers and sisters, thank you for lending your ear, thank you for opening your hearts, and I pray that these reminders remain with you long after this moment has passed. May Allah bless you, may Allah guide you, and may Allah grant you success in this world and the next. Good luck to each and every one of you, and never lose hope in the mercy of Allah, for indeed His mercy is greater than any challenge you face.